Another element here in 8.6 for TK is PNG support. This, of course, leverages the new zlib support in Tcl and does provide full PNG support with compression. Here's an example that's actually taken from the new TK 8.6 demos and basically creating a file with John Asterhout's lovely face, and we modify the alpha transparency of the PNG, and there's a little transformation showing that. So there's also a new TK busy command. This is directly adapted from VLT's busy command. And in addition to that, we have several other assorted extras in 8.6. Users can generate focus events. This could be focus, focus in, or focus out. This can be very handy when you're trying to automate something or use event generate to trigger specific kinds of focus events, which was not possible in 8.5. In addition, we have unfocused text insertion cursor control. So the problem being that sometimes when the text widget loses focus, it can look like the insertion cursor is still active, and the control for this is now possible in 8.6. Now that all the patents have run out, the GIF image writing does properly use LZW compression. And on X11, we have added the new WM attributes dash type to give a little more type hints. And this is mostly used for mega widgets that need to do drop-downs and give specific type indications to the window manager. In addition to that, we have modernized the X11 menus. There is no more forced on the right help window, and a few other little minor changes for making them a little bit slicker with the new way, with the more current X11 menu display. There is also a brand new widget, and that's the new TTK Spinbox widget. It did get backported into 8.5.9 as well, but if you're using the Spinbox, it's nice that there is a fully themed one, but do consider the alternate widgets that are available in TTK, such as Combo Box or the menu button, because when you, for example, use OS X, spin buttons are very rare, and combo boxes or menu buttons would be considered the standard. So just be conscious of your user interface and who you're deploying to for which widgets you'll use. So that pretty much covers the set of changes in Tcl and TK for 8.6. In summary, 8.6 currently is in beta. It is 99% compatible with 8.5. Again, watch for changes in error messages, or as the one tip 323 notes, that there's actually a lot of things that used to error that now just ignore that. There are, of course, also new features bringing new core commands such as try, which may be incompatible with some of your existing code. And then, of course, the internal bytecodes have changed, so watch out if you actually are using precompiled bytecodes. There are almost 50 new features for developers. There's several very large features, especially things like the OO, the availability of zlib, and the entire TDBC extension. And there are possibly a few more to come, as we haven't finalized, of course, 8.6. 8.6 is currently slower than 8.5. Performance wasn't a focus. The performance hit is actually about 25%, depending on the architecture you're running on, though we're looking at ways in which that can be remediated. Final release, we're hoping to be done this year. And for those who use our tools, Tcl DevKit and Komodo, they do both support 8.5 and 8.6, though further 8.6 changes may require further updates, so keep watch for updates to those with 8.6 changes. And of course, for those who are wanting to try it out now, active Tcl 8.6.0 Beta 4 is ready. Our numbering is Beta 4, whereas it's actually based on what is numbered as the 8.6 B1.2 core, which is the current CVS head. and our numbering just started at beta 1, and we've had a few more releases. This was actually released in October 2010. You should expect a new active Tcl 8.6 release in the next month. And one new feature of this, and that word is supposed to be includes, sorry for the typo, the VFS Explorer. Those of you using StarKits can find this very useful for cracking open and examining issues that might be occurring in your StarKits, and now available, and this is all in active Tcl. It's basically similar to the 8.5 extension set. It adds new core modules for things such as TDBC and TROFs, which is the Tcl read-only file system. Overall, there are about 90 plus packages in addition to the core in active Tcl 8.5, and of course you would obtain the rest available via the teacup. And of course note that with this new beta 4, the Mac OS X architecture change occurred. So we used to provide an x86 PPC and called that universal, and that ran with Carbon. Now our builds are all x86 and x64 only and require Cocoa. The teapot does understand both architectures. So with that, I'd like to bring it to Q&A. Pass to Kendra.
Great. Actually, we're going to do one more poll question. Just curious for our audience. When do you plan on upgrading to Tcl 8.6? So you can select one of the following. You're already using it, soon, after a few stable releases, within 6 to 12 months, or more than 12 months away. So I'll just give everybody a few more seconds to do that, and then we'll get into our question and answer portion. Pretty close to everybody now. Okay, I'm going to close the poll. We can see here that 40% of you are going to be upgrading soon after the first stable release. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, now for our questions. Just open the question pane. We've got a few here. So Jeff, does trap take a pattern, or does it need to match error code exactly?
Currently, I'd have to look. Initially, it matches exactly, although the try finally syntax underwent a lot of discussion on the core, so I'd actually have to look at the documentation myself because it went through several iterations before it was finalized in the core, and I have not used it for patterns myself. So I'm not sure whether it does take patterns in the final implementation.
Okay. Next question: are there any plans to include the other BLT functions, especially plotting, in the Tcl core?
At this time, there's nothing else tipped up about inclusion of more BLT functions, except for I think perhaps the bgexec command has been tipped up. But the plotting functions, which are all, of course, the good set of TK widgets that it has. If you do want to use those with 8.5 and 8.6, there is a new extension called RBC, which is Refactored BLT Components. It is available in the teapot, does work with 8.6, and provides you many of the BLT functions you forked off for use with newer versions of Tcl.
Okay, another question. The performance, this is a question about the performance being, is it 25%? Is it 25% up or 25% slower?
So yeah, the question is it one quarter the speed of 8.5 or just 25% slower? It is 25% slower than 8.5 performance. So if something were to take 100 seconds in 8.5, it takes 125 seconds in 8.6.
And I guess this question goes along with that. So what's the plan with respect to that performance?
We're currently looking at the things that have largely affected that performance. There is a full new bytecode engine, a non-recursive bytecode engine that was introduced, and that seems to be the source of it. It's up to us to decide whether the performance impact is actually worth the feature value provided by this in the 8.6 minor release.
Another question from Cameron. Who's on top of extending TDBC interfaces to Oracle and DB2?
I think that so Kevin Kenny is the primary author and maintainer of TDBC, and he's done an excellent job so far of providing a certain set of interfaces. But now he's relying on others, people who have previously made, for example, the Tcl interface available, and the other related ones, such as like Tcl, I think, was what was used as sort of the inspiration to make the Postgres TDBC available. So we would be looking to whoever does Tcl maintenance now to see how that would interface with TDBC. And I think there was some initial effort done on that, but I'm not certain what the status of that is. And the next question here is, what about UDP? Well, it has been looked at, and there are ways in which to add it, but I don't think it was fully finalized how the UDP might be introduced. So you may see it in 8.6 or you may not.
Here's from Mike. So does that mean you may accept a performance degradation, or do you plan to make 8.6 at least as fast or faster? Back to the performance.
Right. So I see, and noting that degradation would be a killer. It's important to note that because which is one of the questions why we're trying to figure out why people move to the new versions. We understand that performance is a very sensitive issue for many, so we do want to try and alleviate that and find a plan that doesn't lose the great features that NRE provides while still having all the extra features that 8.6 adds. Then see the next question being, are coroutines in for Tcl 8.6? And the answer is currently they are in the 8.6 beta, but coroutines are what allows for coroutines is one of the key areas that actually is causing the 20+% performance decrease in Tcl. So of course the question then is back to everyone, are coroutines worth 20% slowdown in the core?
Okay.